Hello everyone, welcome to our story circle for this week, and you won't believe what's happened to me. I've got a great story to tell you. But should we start by singing our hello song? Shall I start and then you tell me what your name is and how you've been feeling too? Okay, let's go. Hello everybody, hello everyone, hello everybody, let's have some fun. My name is Beth and I feel happy. My name is Beth and I feel happy. Your name is, and you feel. Your name is, and you feel. Hello everybody, hello everyone, hello everybody, let's have some fun. I am so excited to tell you my story today. So it all starts when I went on a walk.
Everything started as normal. It was very sunny, so I put on some sun cream. Then I put on my shoes, and then I set off on my walk. I hadn't gone very far when I noticed a glittering in the trees. As I got closer and closer, I realised that the trees were special houses. Houses where fairies live. Their front doors shone with glitter and they were found at the bottom of a huge tree. I inched closer to see if anyone was home, but no one was at the first house. And no one was at the second house either. I looked around at all of the trees and plants nearby, but I couldn't see any fairies amongst the leaves or flowers there.
So I decided to go on a fairy hunt. Would you like to come on my fairy hunt with me too? Would you? That is great. But the first thing if we're going on a fairy hunt is we need to all know what fairies look like. Do you know what a fairy looks like? I think I'm going to need some help remembering what a fairy looks like. Wait, could you draw a picture of a fairy with me and I'll draw a picture too, and then we can all remember what a fairy looks like when we go on our fairy hunt? Would you help me by drawing your own picture of a fairy too? Would you? That is brilliant. Shall we draw our fairies together? Okay, let's go. Finished fairy. Can you show me your fairies too? Wow, that is absolutely brilliant. Great job. Well, now we know what fairies look like, we're almost ready to go on our fairy hunt. But there's also a fairy hunt song that we can sing while we're searching for our fairies. Would you like me to teach you it? Okay, I'll sing first and then we can all sing together. Searching for fairies high and low, searching for fairies fast and slow, searching for fairies till with glee, I see fairies 1, 2, 3. Would you like to sing with me? Off we go. Searching for fairies high and low, searching for fairies fast and slow, searching for fairies till with glee, I see fairies 1, 2, 3. Right, now we've sung our fairy song, off we go.
So off we go on our fairy hunt. I decided to search by the bluebells first, because if I was a fairy, I think I'd like to spend my day diving about the bluebells. They smell so lovely, you can't help but stop and give them a big sniff. Can you sniff the bluebells with me now? I was walking through the field of bluebells when I found something rather strange. It was made out of sticks and twigs. It looked like a fairy den. I had a little sit down in the fairy den and a look around to see if I could see any fairies. Can you see any? I couldn't find any fairies.
So we are well underway in our fairy hunt. But can we remember what we've seen so far? Does anyone remember what kind of flower we've seen? Do you remember? Bluebells. Bluebells, bluebells, I do see. But no fairies. No fairies. 1, 2 or 3. But we've seen some bluebells. Does anyone remember what that big thing made out of twigs was that we saw? Do you remember? Can you tell me? It was a fairy den. Fairy den, I can see. But no fairies. No fairies. 1, 2 or 3. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll find some more fairies soon. Shall we set off on our fairy hunt again? Do you remember the fairy hunt song? Shall we sing it together? Searching for fairies high and low, searching for fairies fast and slow, searching for fairies till with glee, I see fairies 1, 2, 3. Off we go again.
So off we went on our fairy hunt again. This time I decided to search down a path which was very twisty and turny, a bit like a fairy maze.
Wait a second, I can't be the only one doing a twisty, turny walk on our journey. Can you do a twisty, turny walk around your room like you're going through the fairy maze with me? Will you? Brilliant. Off we go on our twisty, turny walk.
When the twisty-turny path had ended, I came across a clearing with giant trees. They were so tall, I bet they could see where the fairies were. I stretched to reach them, wiggling my fingers as I stretched. Can you stretch that high too and wiggle your fingers at the trees? Oh, but they were too tall for me to reach them. But I bet there are lots of animals that live on the trees that might be able to take a message to the fairies for us.
Do you know any animals that might live high up in trees? Could you tell me some names of animals that might live in trees? Can you tell me? Yeah, absolutely. I think there might be lots of birds, and maybe some squirrels, and maybe a few insects that fly or crawl too. So there's lots of different animals that live in the trees, and it's not just the trees that can see really high then, but it's all the animals that live inside them. And if maybe we didn't see any fairies, we could tell the animals that live in the trees to send a message on their journeys to our little fairy friends too. I think that would be a really good idea. If we don't see them, at least we can send them a hello message. So what I want you to do is think of a message that you might send to a fairy now. Close your eyes and have a think. Have you got one? It might just be hello. It might be how are you? It might be asking them something that they've seen, or what kind of magical powers that they can use and what they can do with their magic. So let's go back to the trees. Brilliant, and I'm sure all our animal friends will definitely take a message to some of our fairy friends. Even though it was a bit of a shame that we didn't see any fairies, at least we went on our fairy hunt together. But wait a second, I have got a fairy right here. I've seen a fairy in my house, on my piece of paper that I've made. There was a fairy here all along. Have you got a fairy too? In your house that you've drawn yourself? And I know it's only on a piece of paper now, but we all know that fairies are very magical. So I might need to keep an eye on this fairy in case she flies away. So our fairy hunt was successful. I think we should sing our fairy song one more time. Searching for fairies high and low, searching for fairies fast and slow, searching for fairies till with glee. I see fairies 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much for joining me on our fairy hunt today. I hope you had fun. I definitely had fun looking and scouring through all the woods for fairies with you today. Keep having fun, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. As I'm sure you are aware, theatres across the country are facing unavoidable closures and uncertain futures. If you are able to, please consider making a donation to our emergency appeal to ensure the future of Harrogate Theatre. We want to keep sharing stories like this and bringing joy to future generations. Thank you.